Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be breaking down my yesterday's Abyss run, which was absolutely amazing. Huge thank you to every single one of you who came out to the stream and who supported me with viewing, liking, sharing, all the good stuff. We are well on our way in our 30k push. It is looking like that it is quite possible that we're going to hit the 30k milestone today or tomorrow, and then we have some awesome videos coming for you and streams and a lot more is happening. So get in there, hit that sub button, you will like it. But now let's break down the Abyss of Legends run. So I did the easy path, the path number 1, and the fights on there were like the casual thing, Omega Red, Quake, Medusa, Mephisto, Captain Marvel movie, so on and so forth. Basically the yellow line, the one that people typically do as their first completion. The team that I used for my Abyss run was Dr. Doom, rank 3, Aegon, Sig 40, rank 3, 6-star, Nick Fury, rank 3, 6-star, Human Torch, and Magneto as well as rank 3, 6-star. So I had a full team of rank 3, 6-stars just to see how well or easily I can squeeze through. And the total result of the stream was that I used 29 single revives and 4 team revives. I did not keep a track of potions, but really, for most part, 4 hours the day before in Realm of Legends provided me with more than enough potions. It was a ton of like level 3s mainly that I used, some level 4s that were from daily events, but I still have relatively full stash of single and team potions in level 3, so 4 hours was kind of like more than enough. I don't know exactly how to put a unit value on it, but yeah, I didn't quite count all of the potions, but we're gonna get to the costs exactly at the end. First, we're gonna break down exactly how I did against each fight, things that I would do differently, and things that I was super satisfied with. So the first fight was Thing. I definitely had a few false starts where I did the entire fight fine and then messed up at the very last minute. Anyways, I ended up getting him down at 6 revives. The reason it is actually a bit higher than you'd expect is also because I was using a fairly interesting approach to my masteries, and as you can see that my mastery changes in total only cost me 93 units. I was running mainly without suicides. I only put suicide masteries on against the collector boss, but I started on a relatively bare bone structure in my masteries, and then I just kind of kept adding points where as and when I needed them, and at some point I removed my willpower and then redistributed those points again, and that worked out extremely cheaply for me. I could probably have saved quite bunch of, not maybe quite bunch of revives, but I could have saved probably like 5-7 revives on my run had I consistently been putting on suicides and putting off suicides. But then the mastery change would have skyrocketed, and I think that could potentially be even more expensive than it was. So you can definitely do the run with less revives, but you're going to spend more on mastery change then. In addition, I absolutely butchered about 4 or 5 fights at the very least as well, so you can definitely count off at least 4 there, because I had some very silly fights against Venom the Duck where either I got startled with the stream notifications or something, or I just made a silly mistake. But overall, I think 29 single revives, 4 team revives is not too bad. So yeah, Thing was 6 single revives, was ramping up Aegon. I think I dropped 1 fully at the start there, the rest of them were more or less fine. Against Omega Red, I still kept carrying on, ramping up Aegon. To be honest, I think I could have used Magneto there and possibly gotten a one-shot as well, but Aegon did just fine in 2 revives, and very simple fight. Now, Quake, I actually didn't use any revives. I started the fight with Aegon, I got her down, I think, to about 50%, and I brought in my Nick Fury, and I just finished the fight off with Nick Fury. That's why I can see 1 death there, no revives, because I was trying my best to utilize team revives as efficiently as I can as well. Now, going in Medusa could have been a one-shot, but probably a one-shot. I made a mistake, I died with Dr. Doom, I went back in there, finished, so she went down in 2 goes. Now, next up is a full-on proper solo Mephisto. He went down extremely quickly with Human Torch. It was like 63 hits or something, wasn't anything hard at all. Captain Marvel movie should have been another quick solo, but I didn't heal up Doom all the way, which I should have definitely done, and I made a small mistake. So I actually just died with Dr. Doom when she was at like 3% or 5%. So I just quickly brought in Aegon to finish off that fight. So I didn't use any revives for that fight, but unfortunately it wasn't quite a solo. But that is definitely a very, very, very easy to achieve solo. And the only reason I died there is because I was a bit stingy with my potions and I didn't actually heal up Doom. Now against Ghost, it's one revive fight. I went in there. I ramped up, I carried on ramping Aegon because my Aegon was only Sig 40, so he wasn't quite easy to ramp up. I think I only got to 999 combo towards the Loki fight, but the main reason for that was because I often kept using other champions where I could have used Aegon in order to kind of like save items and revives. Anyways, with Ghost, I went in with Aegon. I got her well past 60% down, I think, and finished the fight off with Magneto. Now, Iron Man Infinity War can be a quite easy solo, and this could also been an easy solo with Magneto, to be honest, but I wanted to ramp up the Aegon. And I went in against Iron Man Infinity War, and I immediately messed up with my Magneto, which got me really annoyed. And then I looked at my options. I went in with Human Torch and messed up again, so I got a bit tilted. And at that point is when I used the team revive. So you can see I didn't use any single revives. I used the team revive and I healed up my Magneto. And I went in when Iron Man Infinity War was at 90%. And Magneto got him down from 90% to 0%. You can for sure one-shot this guy as well. I pretty much did that already. It's just that I had 2 failed attempts at the start there. Now, Joe Fixit was relatively easy as well. Initially, I chipped him down a bit with Nick Fury, and I killed Nick Fury off to gain that attack bonus for Aegon. Went in with an Aegon a couple of times, and I dropped him down quite efficiently. Nothing too much to worry about. He didn't get his heal proc, so I guess I got kind of lucky there. After Joe Fixit, we got Mordo. Mordo was a one-shot, full-on solo with Human Torch. Now, Venom the Dark was the dodgiest fight. I did drop completely, I think, 1 or 2 fights at the start when I just made silly mistakes and I ended up comboed into Oblivion. You can realistically probably get it down in like 3 revives or 2 revives with Dr. Doom at the rank 3. But at the end, I kept getting quite unlucky, and there was this point where he was at like 5%, and I just wanted to bring in either Aegon or Nick Fury or somebody to finish off the fight. But he always procced that region at 5%, which got me quite annoyed. So basically, I just had to force quit several times because he procced the region, and my champs couldn't nullify that. And then I ended up finishing him with Dr. Doom regardless and using Team Revive. So this was actually, looking at it, probably pretty much the worst fight for me, that I made bad for myself by playing bad. Not that I couldn't have gotten it down cheaper or more effective. Now, moving on, Howard the Duck was dead simple. It could have been a one-shot. A, had I healed my Magneto up, and B, had I not parried him when he started regening, because Magneto does reverses Howard the Duck's heal. But anyways, I got him past 50% with Magneto, and then the last 50% I quickly dropped him down with my Nick Fury. Nick Fury actually put in quite a lot of work. But yeah, so no revives used there, only sacrificed my Magneto. Hyperion, I did have... Well, the first problem was I forgot to boost there. That could have helped me out immensely. And I messed up in first fight. He got level 3. And I died. So yeah, I think this can probably be solo, especially if you're boosted. And Champion was quite similar. Just messed it up with Dr. Doom, but Dr. Doom overall definitely did great. All of those mistakes are my mistakes. I didn't run the full timer for most part, or I forgot boosting. And Cyclops, I knew that I'm gonna have to shrug off the rust from the run, so I pretty much threw entire team at him. So that is the reason why I can pretty much see that there's a team revive used, because I used whatever champions I had remaining. Because even Dr. Doom does quite well against Cyclops, Human Torch does well against Cyclops, Nick Fury can do great, and Magneto as well, because you can spam heavy attacks in corner and you can just get your level 3s like nobody's business. But yeah, it wasn't the smoothest fight, but it wasn't it was fun, it was interesting, and it wasn't too bad either. And the team revive was kind of like largely to prepare for the next set of fights there. On Loki, I used the one revive. I died twice, and that was it. I think it was Nick Fury and Aegon mainly who took the guy down. It's a relatively simple fight. Against Aegon, I used a single revive, but I died 3 times because first I think I brought in Magneto just to kind of like kill him off, because I knew that I'm going to be using Team Revive later. And the biggest MVP actually was Dr. Doom, because I had max Mystic Dispersion, and even though I cannot inflict shock and do a bunch of other stuff, a very easy way to do that fight was just to drop a level 2, which is 5 hits, Aegon gains 5 Furies, and wait till those 5 Furies expire, and I'm back at level 2. So vast majority of Aegon's health was entirely done with Dr. Doom in like 1 revive, and it's a very good, simple, easy rotation. You don't have those Fury buffs. Sometimes you mix in a level 3 there, but the whole idea is I just dropped my level 2, which gives 5 Furies to Aegon, I let them expire, fill up my power bar back to level 2, and I drop my level 2 off again, and pretty much all of the hits that I, for most part, inflicted upon Aegon were with Dr. Doom's level 2s, and it did vast majority of Aegon's health as damage there. Now, Invisible Woman, again, in all honesty, should have been a solo. Number 1, forgot to reapply my boosts, because at that point I wanted to reboost for the Collector fight. And number 2, I just made a mistake. But yeah, Nick Fury can easily one-shot that fight. That is a definite user error. Cal Obsidian was full on, flat out Dr. Doom solo. Made it just in time. I think I finished him with pretty much a last hit on my counter. And Collector, I at that point used 6 single revives on Aegon. What I did is I ramped into my all team into him, whoever was still alive. And then I changed my masteries, put up the suicides, and bumped in with Aegon him down in 6 revives. Could have definitely saved a couple of revives there. Didn't play perfectly by any means, but Aegon did well enough. And yeah, so in total, 29 single revives, 4 team revives, 53 times total I died in this quest. My units at start was 3,508, and unit stand was 3,385. The reason for that is I used 30 units for an energy refill midway through, and that leaves me with 93 units being used for mastery change, which is actually super cheap. And again, the way I achieved that was when I started with the bare bones mastery structure, because I didn't want to do too much damage against Thing initially, helping me ramp up Aegon a bit quicker. And then I basically just kind of like started adding points where I needed. If I needed courage, I immediately added courage, for instance. When I started using Nick Fury, I added deep wounds, and then I kind of got with like a pseudo abyss mastery setup, and I actually could maybe consider doing another run and see how well I can do if I properly select perfect mastery setup for each fight, and then compare whether it's worth it, because I think I would get a lot more one-shots against many of the champions, but I think my mastery change cost would be significantly higher. Overall, I think this is cheaper, this is easier. Might not look as good on this table where you use revives, but it definitely was overall quite cheap, because 29 revives, you can say it's about 1160 units, even though like none of these revives were bought for units. I just had kind of like accumulated them, and most of them were the 20% revives that I had expiring in stash. So I didn't really use any units for the revives, and neither I did for the potions, because vast majority of the potions that I used in this run came from Realm of Legends, where I did 2-hour streams the day before using Cosmic Ghost Rider, grinding the potions, and I still had left with enough of them. I still have full stash. I still need to figure out something to do with them before letting them expire, because they will be gone before Act 7 launches. And my revive stash is actually looking relatively healthy still as well, so super happy with that. So you could say that total unit cost in here would be 1,653 if you are willing to accept that 4 hours of roll potion farming technically didn't count as units, but if you want to count the potions as units, then somebody's going to have to go in the stream and actually count how many potions I used. Right, but yeah, I felt quite good with the run. I was quite satisfied. As I said before, I did have about 5 fights where I just messed up immediately at the start, so I could have probably saved about 5 revives or 3 revives and a team revive or something. But it was great fun. I did enjoy it. I think it is significantly easier than when I ran it the first time using rank 5 stars pretty much exclusively. I think 6 stars rank 3s are quite significantly beefier, so you're a bit more free with your block damage. I also think that obviously you don't run out of your hit counters as often, and with slight improvements you can definitely get this number under 20, and I think you can actually probably do overall sub 20 revive run, not using team revives, if you are kind of properly boosting all the time, because I wasn't all the time boosting properly. I only had 120% attack boost, and sometimes I just forgot to put some boost on as well. But yeah, I think that will pretty much do. Hopefully this video helped you out slightly. Hopefully you enjoyed yesterday's stream, and once again, I am trying my hardest to push this channel to 30,000 subscribers. We're actually less than 100 subscribers away, so get in on the action. Check out the video description. All the cool links are there. I have set up my Patreon, which has been going great. I have a Discord server for the channel. We have channel dedicated exclusive line room. There is links to Streamlabs, links to become YouTube member, all of that good stuff. Remember sharing the videos with your friends and teammates, and let me know, how do you think I did in this run? But that will do for now, and I'm gonna catch you guys next time. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information